What was this kind of Twitter drama all about?
Well, Heidi, it seems like over the past week that at some point President Trump will look for a way to both accept defeat and claim victory in the same breath. And we thought we had that today, to say, oh, okay, well, he won, but only because the election was rigged. He may not have quite meant it that way, and within an hour he recanted. But that's, I think, still the model of ultimately what he'll come out and say. He has told certain confidence, like Geraldo Rivera, that he wants to see, for example, the results of the recount in Georgia. Now, that recount is going very quickly, and from what we've heard, there's more likely to change 12 votes than 12,000 votes. I mean, they're really not finding anything. It's going very well. So one of the next things for Trump will be the certification state by state of the election, and those dates are coming up in the next couple of weeks. So really, as we get towards Thanksgiving, more and more states will actually say that the election results were right. And as you know, the Trump campaign has filed numerous lawsuits. Those have pretty much all been thrown out for lack of evidence, and it doesn't seem like there's much they can do. But I think you'll see them continue to file those suits just as a way to kind of undermine the incoming administration. We think that that's really the goal at this point.
Well, Ros, it's interesting. I think many people have looked at Joe Biden as a counterpoint to Donald Trump, particularly on the virus. So they might find it a little bit surprising after Trump kind of pushed back against another lockdown and that kind of thing, that Joe Biden's new virus team says they don't support a national lockdown either.
Well, it's very interesting. I mean, Joe Biden has said at some point that he would listen to the scientists and listen to the doctors, and that was interpreted or maybe misinterpreted to think that he would want to go with a hard national lockdown. And that's something that President Trump talked about over and over in his campaign rallies before the election. But we did hear today from three members of Biden's coronavirus team, Atul Gawande, Vivek Murthy, and Michael Osterham, and they basically said that national lockdowns are too blunt an instrument, sort of like monetary policy. It's just too blunt to really get at this municipality or this state that's having particular problems. So they favor more locally driven policy. And I think people hearing that might be somewhat relieved if they have kind of bought into the idea that Biden would favor a national lockdown. We also heard that Biden's team will meet this week with pharmaceutical companies, and they're really focused on the vaccines that are coming, and as Ron Klain, the incoming chief of staff, said, not just the vaccines, but getting the vaccines to the people. He said, just a vaccine by itself is nothing, but once it's jabbed in your arm, it's something. So that's what they're focused on. And at the same time, they're sort of aware that lockdowns and hard measures really take a toll on people, on small businesses, on workers, and that's something that they seem to be quite aware of. So it's a real balancing act, as it has been for the Trump administration, but it seems like that's the kind of advice that President-elect Joe Biden is going to be getting over the next few weeks.